Hi everybody, Andrew Cherin, attorney at law. I am a personal injury lawyer here in Seattle, and I represent people who are injured in car accidents. Today I want to talk to you about contributory fault and comparative liability. Contributory fault is something that says that your case will be reduced by however amount of fault percentage is determined by you. So let's say you were in a car accident and there are some issues around liability on who caused the car accident, and let's say the jury finds that you were 20% at fault and the other person was 80% at fault. So any award that the jury gives, so let's say they say that your case is worth $100,000, your case will be reduced by 20% because that's the amount that you were found to be contributorily negligent on or at fault for and causing the car accident. And so Washington is a state that it does not bar recovery for being over 50% at fault or any percent at fault. There are some states that bar recovery if you're 50% at fault or more, then they won't let you collect anything. And there's also states that say if you're any percent at fault, you can't collect anything out of the lawsuit as well. But Washington's not one of those states, so that's a good thing. So in theory, if you were 99% at fault for causing the car accident and you suffered injuries in it and the other person didn't, so at that point when you go to a jury and they find 99% you being at fault and the other person 1% at fault, if the other person doesn't have any damages and you have, let's say, $100,000 in damages, they owe you $1,000 even though you were 99% at fault in theory. So that's kind of a good thing for some cases, not the 99% case. It's usually not going to be the case where the other person's not injured at all and it was fully your fault. So those cases are very rare. But there's another part of the law in Washington that can be very useful, and it's about comparative fault. So in comparative fault, if you're an innocent victim, so let's say you were involved in a car accident, and the car accident was caused by, let's say, a drunk driver. Okay, so let's say the drunk driver was found to be 80% at fault, and the bar that served the drunk driver was the other 20% at fault. So you had no contributive fault at all to causing the car accident. It was all their fault. Let's say the bar was 20% at fault because of overservice. They gave the person way too much to drink and they should have stopped a long time ago, and the person got in a car accident ultimately because they were wasted. So in that scenario, if the drunk driver doesn't have any money, let's say the drunk driver doesn't have insurance, doesn't have any money, but the bar has $1 million of insurance to cover the damages, and let's say the damages were $1 million. In that scenario, the court could award $1 million damages to be paid by the bar. So in that situation, the bar, since you had no fault at all in being injured in the car accident, the bar would have to pay for the full amount because they are a guilty party. Even though that they were only found to be 20% at fault, they owe 100% damages, and then it's up to them to go and try to collect the other 80% that they weren't at fault for from the other defendant, the drunk driver. So that way it kind of helps out innocent victims of crimes or innocent victims of wrongdoings. So that's a good thing. So Washington State has some good laws in place that help protect the victim. Innocent victims in a lot of cases get fully made whole from people that are in a way guilty, if not fully responsible. It's up to the person, them, to go after the other responsible person, leaving the victim whole and leaving the two defendants to quarrel over what's owed and who they need to collect back money from. So that's a good thing. If you want to learn more about car accident injury cases, feel free to visit my website. www.lawsharing.com. It's all about Seattle and Washington car accidents only, not other states usually. They have different laws, so it's only for Washington State. And if you've been in a car accident and you want a free consultation, I give those. My number is 206-850-6716.